join me on, I think it's like the 5th of April or something like that. I'm sat in the Matiz. Yeah, it's been quite, I don't know, a messy couple of months, if I can say that. As I said, the CC's been off the road since mid-November, maybe late November, because of our power issues. That's gone in to get fixed. First, I got a fella out to do a clean on my DPF on the driveway, and that didn't work out too well. That cost me £220 and it didn't work at all. I ended up calling the fella up after I sent the car into a garage. Hang on just one second. I forgot to put my bleeding phone cover on. It's good, isn't it? Anyway, yeah. I ended up sending the CC into a garage to get fixed because the fella that charged me £220, it just didn't work. I ended up putting it into the garage and they done a DPF and EGR clean for me, which was I think it was like £760. And then they advised me to get in touch with the other guy and get my money back, so that's exactly what I did. He did only agree to like half of the money back though, which wasn't great. Collected the car, took it for a test drive, and it was still throwing itself in and out of limp mode, so they ended up keeping the car a bit longer because it turned out that the turbo needed sorting. So they did a turbo rebuild for me, and a stage 2 map. Now the stage 2 map, I don't know what's going on about that, to be honest with you. I think because the turbo's like an older turbo and it's only been rebuilt. When I first test drove the car, when it was going in and out of limp mode, it felt really quick. Then the stage 2, then the turbo went on it and they've stripped my turbo down, rebuilt it, and it has still got a lot of power there, but it doesn't feel as quick as it was when I first tested it. But yeah, I brought it home and it had a little bit of a coolant issue, which I sorted that out. It was just something silly to do with one of the pipes. And then it's been juddering on acceleration, and when you're on the motorway, it's not just juddering. Once you've been at like 70, like 2 or 3 minutes, it's throwing itself into limp mode, so it's not happy at motorway speeds at all. Now I phoned the fella that is in charge of the company that's done the car for me, and he said because I've spent a considerable amount of money, it's like £1,600, something like that I've given them, he's took it back in and left me with a courtesy car, which I'll show you in a minute. So they're gonna try and sort the issue out free of charge, just simply because I've spent a lot of money and it's still not right. It feels like it's lost some of its power again, and it's not happy at motorway speeds. It's juddering a little bit on acceleration, not massively, but it is juddering under acceleration. So they've took the car back over the water, so they sort that out for me and left me with that courtesy car. I'm hoping and praying when I get the car back that it's all dealt with. And yeah, it's I think I might have to put the car on, get it dynoed, because I think he was saying 248 horsepower, something like that, off a stage 2, and it did feel like it had that sort of power when I first test drove it before I left it with them the first time. But since I've had it back before it went this time, it doesn't feel like it's got that sort of power anymore. So I don't know whether that's down to the turbo or the tune or what, but I'm going to have to phone them and say it doesn't feel as quick as it was the first time I went to test drive it after you've done the map and the clean and all that. Because if I'm going to be getting the car back under the price that I've paid, I want it to be running properly, but I also want that stage 2 map to be working the way it was when I first collected the car. I mean, I'm not going to be ragging the car about or nothing like that, but if you pay for something, you want to be, you know, and they do seem like a pretty decent garage, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's all I can really tell you about the CC. It's been since November, and we're now, as I said, the 5th of April, so that's a long time for that car not to be working properly. To the point that I am actually starting to think I might want it back, keep it for another 12 months while I sell up, and then get another car and just sell it. The Matiz, Michael's had a few issues with the Matiz. Most of the repairs that needed doing when he first bought it are now done, bar that spring on the front passenger side needs changing. He's changed his single squeaky horn to a 2-tone horn, which sounds better. It almost sounds like the horn on the CC, but we've done a test on it. It was working fine off the button on the steering wheel. Now when we wired it up, it just stopped working completely. We refitted the old horn, nothing. Right, okay, it could be the fuse or it could be the solenoid. So tried that, tried the resistor and all these other things, and nothing. So we came back to it a week later, and the car was like, it was supposed to have been like the bank holiday, and we were supposed to, like, you know, he was meant to go and see his family, because obviously, and then I was going to come and see mine and all that, but we ended up wasting most of a day trying to get this issue on the horn fixed on the Matiz. And in the end, we sort of gave up. It's all wired up and everything. The new 2-tone horn's now been rewired properly, but the switch on the steering wheel is not doing nothing when you're pressing it. I don't know whether he needs a new switch or what, but in the end we sort of admitted defeat, and he's decided he's going to get an auto spark out for that one. Once that's done, he needs to send it in for an MOT, and then yeah. But for now, the Matiz is now also sat here as well as the Bora. But yeah, hopefully I'll have the CC back in a day or two. That's all I can really tell you on them two. The bike's still sat out in the garden untouched for almost a year now, so I'm thinking about just selling and getting what I can out of it. But I might as well show you this courtesy car. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be, so I'm going to cover up the registration plates. And yeah, bear with me and I'll be with you in about 5 minutes in actual time, but on screen time in about 2 seconds. Well yeah, they've sent me a courtesy car. It's not a bad car, to be honest. I was always told that the Golf Mark 5's the worst out of all the Golfs, but I've driven one, and well, this is the first time I've driven one, and do you know what? They're actually alright little cars. May not be as good as the 6, but yeah, it's quite decent on the inside for, I think it's like a just short of a 07, is it? Oh, I may go for a little drive with the camera mounted. It's a 5-speed. It's a diesel 1.6, and I think it's been mapped because it doesn't hang about. Yeah. Over. Can't show you too much because it's a courtesy car, but glove box is pretty decent size. A little cup holders here, which again, full of all dirt. It ain't in the greatest of nick, if I'm honest, because it is only a courtesy car. And the boot's missing it's thingy. Overall, legroom's pretty decent. Now, I've always thought these have got a very big arse compared to the Mark 6. Oh yeah, that's my courtesy car. Can't really tell you too much on the Bora because, as I said, because I've been getting the CC sorted, it's sort of been like, again, just sat there, and I feel really bad because it's kind of, as much as it looks 10 times better since it arrived, while it's just sat there, it's neglected. So I kind of do feel bad about that. Really windy last night, and the driveway's a mess because everyone's just blowing about. But yeah, she just sat there at the minute. I feel really bad because I wanted to have it done by the time I get to this. It's just not going to happen. Well, it is really windy still, as bad as it was last night. But yeah, Project Bora is on hold for now, just because unfortunately the CC brings in the wage, so that's the most important one to get sorted. I think I'll be getting the CC back on either tomorrow or Tuesday. Well, we'll see. And the Matiz hasn't moved. Well, it's moved off the driveway to there. Yeah, it's all wired up for the two horns. We've now got a feeling that the switch inside the steering wheel may have gone, because we've tried all sorts of other things and the horn's just not working. We even tried to refit the old one and it's not doing nothing at all. We took the steering wheel off and tested the two wires for the switch on a multimeter, and it was dead. So yeah, that's the sit rep. It's a very, very short video, this one. It was supposed to have been like a 10-minute video, but yeah, it didn't work out. Well, yeah, hopefully we'll get that problem sorted. It's going back into the garage soon to get this spring done, and then MOT, and then it's back on the road. Yeah. We've got a bonnet strut kit for the Tiguan. Got it off eBay, I think it was like 15-20 quid. Comes with two brackets, mountain bolt, there's another one of them, so obviously one for this one as well, and the strut. So we're going to go and fit this now. It's probably only going to be a short video. If I can manage the video in at all, I'll probably only be able to video the before and after. Stay tuned. Right, the kit didn't come in with instructions, so I'm currently just guessing how it goes. I don't know if that goes in that way or that way. But for now, all I can do is just trial it. I'll put the camera down somewhere. Like that. And that'll then go in there. Right, so I've assembled this, put that into there. That one's already connected. I think I've figured it out. Take that bolt out, go through there, it sits on there, and then you take that bolt out and replace it with that one. Obviously you do the same on both sides. Let me just give that a trial and then I'll get back to you. Right, so you take that bolt out. That bolt will then hold the bracket in, but you've got to put the strut in on the adjuster so that you can adjust the height. And then that comes up, which you take this bolt out, and then that goes straight into where the other bolt was. And that's pretty much it. Oh, I'll video that side getting done. Right. On there, because it's the adjuster side in case you need to move it up or down. Get on. All the way up. I'm just going to tighten that a second. Right, you've got to line it up so that little circly bit there goes towards the back of the car. In there like that, if you can even see that. There you go, like that. And you use your original bolt off the car in there. Right, I'm going to have to pause it for you a second. I just had to pause while I adjusted the settings. I've gone for like an over brightness setting so you can see a bit better. Right, that goes in there. I'll tighten that up in a second. Now I think this bolt here is just a spare, so I'm going to take that off. Or possibly drop it down the back of the fairing. Wheel arch, whatever you want to call it, wherever you're from. Right, and then this needs to come out, because what you then do is screw that into there. Just give me a second. Right, and then that goes into there and screw it in, which is really awkward to do with one hand. Just give me a second. I've had to lower that down on the bracket a little bit in order to get that to slide into the hole to tighten it. So I'm just going to tighten it and I'll be back with you in about 3 seconds. Unfortunately, in true Driven Limited style, I did kind of forget to finish videoing the last bit of that video. We put it all together and we tried the bonnet, and for some strange reason it was opening fine under its own weight, and it was closing fine, but it wasn't closing properly, if you get me. It was like that far off closing properly. So we've dismantled it and took it back off again. Got back onto the place that we bought them from and basically explained they've arrived with no instructions, and we've tried all sorts of different ways, and we did fit them. They were working fine, but they wasn't allowing the bonnet to be closed. I personally think that the bracket was hitting the bonnet, or either that, or maybe I put the struts upside down or something, I don't know. But I've basically asked the seller to provide instructions, because it does say that they're built for the Mk1 facelift Tiguan, so it is the correct one. It's just, if something hasn't come with instructions, then how are you supposed to fit it? Unless you've got a rough idea, which it isn't rocket science. We did do most of it, it's just that it wasn't closing, as I said, so got to wait for them instructions to arrive. The CC's back. It turned out that after the turbo was rebuilt, it turned out that there was an injector or two that needed replacing, so that got done. It is still running a little bit grotty, but yeah, Luke said he thinks it's down to the tune needs slightly tweaking, so I'm waiting for him to get back to me on that. Other than that, it does seem okay. It's still not feeling as instant on the power as what it was the first time I tested it, but maybe it was tuned slightly too high at that point. But yeah, that's all I can tell you right now. Today was a bit of a quiet day. I ended up with nothing really to do on the cars. I ended up going out. I give the Bora a quick valley. The CC got a quick valley. The Matiz, that got a quick valley. My granddad's Tiguan got a quick valley, and my sister's brand new Renault Arcana, is it? That got a quick valley as well. Didn't do the Bora properly because the power cable on it is really bad, so I can't move it at the minute, so I just did the best I could. But there's another car that has arrived as well as my sister's Renault into the family, so that will be getting featured on the channel at some point. And then the Audi, unfortunately, will be leaving the channel for good. So I'm going to try and get one last video in on that, even if it's like a little quick road trip or something. But yeah, look, before this video ends, I apologise for that really messy video that I've just uploaded. It was just basically 3 or 4 short videos that I've done and not completed. So I just thought I'd just make a little sort of mix match story on that. Get all the short videos put together, edit them. There was little bits of footage missing, and I also lost some of the footage as well. So I've just had to edit it together the best I could. But yeah, I'm going to leave this one here. Again, as always, thanks for your support. Continue to support us. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and you'll get notifications when we do upload. Also, I've just opened a Patreon page as well, so if you support me on there, that'll help massively in the financial side of things, which will help get more videos because it'll help towards getting parts for the cars and things like that. So yeah, go and have a look, give me Patreon a follow as well, and that'll help massively in the financial side. But yeah, whatever you do with the rest of your week, enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. So, as promised, I'm gonna go for this little drive in the Golf. Not going far though. Yeah, this is a 1.6 diesel, but I'm pretty sure it's been mapped because it pulls quite well. I mean, Rosie's Mark 6 was a 1.6 diesel, and this pulls a considerable amount more. I mean, I'm not saying that Rosie's Golf was slow, because it wasn't. Or this Mark 5's definitely been mapped. I've had to put the light in the sun visor mirror on so they can see me, because it's getting a little bit dark now. Yeah, I'm not going far, just going for a little drive. Yeah, these Mark 5 Golfs, they've always been looked at like the worst of all the Golf generation. This is the first time I've ever had the chance to drive one, and you know what? I don't think they're that bad. I think it's an alright car. It doesn't feel much different than Rosie's Mark 6 to drive. And that was a nice car to drive. Yeah, even down to, I mean, obviously it's probably, I think they did change quite a lot of the stuff from one to the other, but you can see a lot of similarities as well on the interior and on the exterior. But yeah, I'd say it's not quite as comfortable as the Mark 6, but it is still quite comfortable. This precise model, I don't know whether it's down to a remap or something, but when the car was delivered to me, when my car was taken, it had 30 mile in the tank, and I've put about 35 pounds in the tank since then, and it's only gone up by about 70 mile. So I don't know whether that's a fuel problem or what, but if I am getting my car back tomorrow, I ideally need to use some of that fuel, otherwise it's a waste of money. Well, I've just got to my destination. I'm gonna pause up here and I'll continue the video when I'm on my way home. So yeah, stay tuned and I shall see you in about 3 seconds. As promised. I've just got a short trip now back home. What was I saying before? Oh yeah. I was finished talking about the Golf, I'm pretty sure of it. I mean, I would have liked, while I've got this, to do a sort of comparison video of the Mark 5 with Rosie's Mark 6. But that's easier said than done. They are both the same colour as well. Both the same engine, both diesels. I think the only difference is, I don't know if it is a TSI, I'm not sure. But I think I've got this feeling that my car's going to be back tomorrow with any luck. I'm hoping and praying that it doesn't have to go back again, because it's been back over the water to the Whittle about 4 times since it very first went in. So I'm hoping that this is it now, it hasn't got to keep going back. The car's literally fighting everything that's been done to it. It's coming, it's weird, it's coming back to me in where it seems okay, and within like a day it's gone back to like not quite right again, so it keeps having to be sent back over to the Whittle to have work done on it. I'm hoping that this is it now, but I just wanted to say a massive thank you to Luke and the lads from Triple R over on the Whittle for getting it done. Hopefully, as I said, this will be it now, it's done. I can hand your Golf back to you. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this one here. Again, it was another crap video because it was just basically a fleet update. Yes, I did go out on for a little road trip, which was only, I'd say, no more than 1.5 miles I've just drove, and then 1.5 miles back. I'd say closer to 1 mile even. I'm just taking a bit of a detour home. maybe when I've got the CC back and it's working properly, maybe I'll go and do a little road trip somewhere on the weekend when I'm off work. I don't know, even if it's somewhere like Wigan or Blackburn or I don't know, Southport or something. We'll see. As I said, got that to do. The Matiz has still got a little bit of work to do, but that's all down to Michael to phone up and get hold of a auto spark to sort out this horn, so we can then send it to the garage, get the shocky spring done, and then get it MOT and get it back on the road. Once them things are done, I owe a little bit of money out to my dad and my granddad, who lent me a bit of money to get part of the bill towards the CC done, because it was a monumental bill. And then I can crack on with the Bora then, hopefully. I mean, I don't think I'm going to have the Bora roadworthy and in decent enough nick to have it ready by the summer to take that anywhere, but every time I do a job on it, it's at that bit closer, if you get me. But yeah, I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to leave you there. Once again, I apologise for the month gap in between the last video and this one. Yeah, thanks for staying with us. Thanks for the support. Hit that bell icon and you'll get an update when I do upload videos every now and then. Hopefully more often now, as I've started to get back into it again. Like, comment, subscribe, spread the word, because as I said, without you lot, the channel's a bit pointless. And yeah, whatever you do with the rest of your weekend, depending on when this video goes up, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.